Alright guys, thanks for getting Stormtopia.com and Stormtopia.com Facebook page for a daily weather update right now. Of course, looking at a minor snowfall event from this evening through tomorrow for a large portion of the Northeast. I'm really not looking at a major event. It's according to 3 inches for most of New England, from Maine to Long Island, with isolated spots getting around 4, but I think it's according to 3 inches. Then you make your way back into the Berkshires, through the Litchfield Hills, into a lot of eastern New York. It's 2 to 4 inches, with an isolated spot getting around 5 and 6 inches. And then the best chance for 5 or 6 inches is going to be in the higher elevations of West Virginia and south central Pennsylvania. Meanwhile, others getting 2 to 4 inches of locally higher spots. Same deal out here. And along the coast, from the snow hole all the way through the central mid-Atlantic, not much. Maybe a spotty coating, but that's just about it. Now, I think a lot of the focus has been on the storm for Thursday and Friday in the Northeast, and there's going to oh, it's not going to hit, it's going to go south, blah, blah, blah. You know, I agree, it's not going to hit. There's not going to be a snowstorm, but there is the potential for some snow that, you know, we can't rule out it even being plowable. Now, here's my map, okay? It's 3 to 4 days out, so you just got to give me some wiggle room. But here's what I do know. Certainly not out of the question for snow from West Virginia to Virginia, for Cape May, southern Maryland. Then once you get to the Pennsylvania, Maryland state line, your chances become very slim for a lot of the mid-Atlantic chances of snow. And then from southern New England to the eastern Great Lakes, it's just not your fault, but it won't be your storm. But the further south you get, the more decent your chances get. Back into southern Virginia, pretty decent chance of some snow out of this whole thing. Now let's take a look at some of the new models we have. And this is the 12Z run of the GFS. Here you see, by the time we make our way out to 12Z on the 9th, Wednesday, snow's breaking out here in the southern plains, and then you make your way out into 12Z on the 10th, and what happens here is the low moves across. Once it hits about New Orleans on the 12Z GFS, the low just gets crushed by a dominant upper high, and it basically doesn't regenerate itself. We take a look at the 12Z NAM. It basically, once it hits New Orleans area, it doesn't crush itself. It ends up continuing to produce snow from northern Alabama, northern Georgia, through North Carolina, and upstate South Carolina. And then we have the European, which is a northerly guidance product, but really not that different from the rest. But what's interesting about the European is it actually strengthens the storm east of New Orleans, not crushing it at all. The Arctic upper level destruction with the storm is not being noted on the Euro. Goes offshore and actually produces a decent snow for the not out of the question area. Now we see the GFS and where it just crushes the low. And why does it crush the low? Well, it's because of the Arctic high. The Arctic high is basically run by features out of Canada with the blocking up there. Now, GFS and blocking, do they go together? No, they don't go together so well in the same sentence. GFS is not good when handling the blocking in Canada. That means the Canadian blocking can't be handled well in the GFS. And if that's what's going to push the storm and destroy because of the Arctic high in the central U.S., then of course the GFS needs to be discontinued for this storm. Discounted, I should say. Alright? Then we have the Yuki Met. Basically what it does is it brings the storm offshore, but it actually like strengthens the low. And it wouldn't be shocking if this low nudges itself a little bit north. You could actually get a precip field coming back into here in the not out of the question zone. And once that low redevelops offshore, it could actually produce a snow in here instead of just a snow in here. Okay? 18Z NAM, picking up on that redevelopment feature. Look at that. Off South Carolina. Rapidly progresses off to the northeast and produces a band of snow here for southeastern Virginia. Now what happens here, if you can get the low to start near the North Carolina-South Carolina border, then it goes like this. It would get closer, and if it goes slower, then you might actually see that snow extending all the way to Richmond. We'll just have to see how that works out on the 0Z run of the NAM. Alright. So, I think I've tired out the storm enough. Have a great day and stay tuned.